Hello everybody, welcome again. आज के लेक्चर में in today's class we are going to talk about the animal kingdom chapter, which is called as the chapter number 4. This particular chapter you have already studied in your 9th standard और 11th में आने के बाद ये चैप्टर थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड होता है, थोड़े कॉन्सेप्ट और बढ़ते हैं और तो आपको ये चैप्टर हम लोग स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं. I hope you will attend the lecture and you have to write everything, each concept, each table which is explained in this particular classroom. Okay, so let us begin with the kingdom Animalia. When we talk about kingdom Animalia, so there are already, you know that there are total 5 kingdom: kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So when we talk about the kingdom Animalia, in this particular chapter we are going to classify the kingdom Animalia. What is classification? You know that classification is nothing but the arrangement of organism. Classification is the arrangement of organism on the basis of characters. Classification is the arrangement of organism on the basis of characters. So आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि हमें सबसे पहले ये सीखना है कि वो कौन से बेसिक कैरेक्टर्स हैं जिनका इस्तेमाल करके हम एनिमल को क्लासिफाई करेंगे. Yes sir. So as per our NCERT, we will strictly follow the NCERT. Little bit extra is always there, but we will strictly follow this particular chapter for the NCERT according to the NCERT. Now the basic criteria, the basic characteristic that you should know is the level of organization, types of symmetry, germ layer, phylum, segmentation. These are the 5 basic characteristics that every child must understand before the actual phylum, the phylum Porifera till phylum Chordata. Before ये जो main topic है, जो phylum Porifera से Chordata तक शुरू हो, you should know all these characters. मतलब अगर आपको characters ही नहीं पता रहेगा, so how you are going to classify the organism? That become the important question. Okay, so here we go. Level of organization. So let us begin one by one. जब हम लोग बात करते हैं, when we are talking about the level of organization, every living organism, when we talk about kingdom Animalia, animals are always going to be multicellular. Animals are always going to be multicellular. लेकिन कभी-कभी क्या होता है, there is a group of cells. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं at the basic level there is a cell. कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि group of cells they are going to be combined together. This is called as a group of cells. Group of cells. और ये जो group of cells रहेंगे इसको हम बोलते हैं cellular level of organization. क्या बोलते हैं? We call it as a cellular level of organization. So आपको पता होना चाहिए कि cells मिलके tissue form करते हैं. Tissue combine to form the organ and organ combine to form the organ system. और हमारी जो बॉडी होती है वो सिस्टम से बनी होती है. रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम, डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम, एस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम, नर्वस सिस्टम, मस्कुलर सिस्टम. द बॉडी इज मेड अप ऑफ सिस्टम. और ये जो सिस्टम कंबाइन होता है तो फाइनली देयर इज अ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म. बी वेरी क्लियर. सेल्स विल कंबाइन टू फॉर्म टिश्यू, टिश्यू विल कंबाइन टू फॉर्म द organ, and organ will combine to form the organ system, and organ system will combine to form the organism itself. Very simple concept. Now this will be level wise growth. Level wise there is a evolution. Let us now try to understand those evolution or those levels. The first and the basic level is always called as a cell aggregate or cellular level of plant. ये जो cellular level of plant होते हैं, there is a group of cells are going to be there, but these cells are not having the common function. They have a separate function. There is a division of level. There is a variety of cells is going to be present. Suppose I have a one type of cell, second type of cells, fourth type of cell, fifth type of cell. These are the 4 different types of cells are there in an organism, and all the 4 cells will perform different function. They will perform different function. So can we call the cell as a tissue? No. In cellular level, the cells will be there, but these cells will not form the tissue, and that's why we call it as a cellular level of organization, or we call it as an aggregation of cell, and it is seen in case of Porifera, the first basic phylum. From Porifera we move on to next phylum called Coelenterata, and next is a Ctenophora, and in both the phylum the cells will combine to form the tissue. What is tissue? Tissue is a group of cells having similar structure and similar function, correct? So cells here will combine to form the tissue, and tissue level of organization is going to be seen in case of Coelenterata and Ctenophora. Now there is a third level of organization. There is a third level of organization. We call this third level of organization as a tissue combined to form the organ. Why tissue will combine to form the organ? Because tissue may be of different type, like epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue, and all these tissue come together to build the body, to build the organ of the body, and that's why it is called organ level. So organ will not be seen in case of Ctenophora and Coelenterata. In both of them, organs will not be seen. In the Porifera, tissue cannot be seen. In Platyhelminthes, organ can be seen. That's why Platyhelminthes is the first phylum where organ level of organization developed. Now organ will combine to form the organ system, and this organ system is seen in case of Aschelminthes, next phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and rest of all the phylum after Platyhelminthes, all the phylums are going to be included here. I think concept is very simple. Now, so do you think the process of evolution will stop here? The answer is no. Evolution never stop. Life end. Life will end of an organism, but the evolution will continue. So organ system may become complex. It may show the complexity. It may show the complexity. In case of digestive system or in case of circulatory system, I give you example of digestive system, I can give you the example of circulatory system, I can give you example of so many, but these two examples are discussed in our syllabus, and that's why we are also going to discuss complexity in the organ system, like that is digestive system and circulatory system. Is that clear? So digestive system is going to be complete or incomplete, and circulatory system is open or closed. Digestive system is complete or incomplete. Circulatory system is open or closed. Let us now discuss about the digestive system. This is the theoretical part that I have discussed orally in this particular slide, and if you want you can refer this also. Now focus on to the organ system, that is digestive system. Now we have a two diagram. This diagram stands for the incomplete digestive system, and this is a complete digestive system. What do you mean by incomplete digestive system? The meaning is there is a single opening. How many opening? There will be single opening. There will be single opening. That point has to be clear. Is that clear? There has to be single opening. So you can see this particular example of Coelenterata. Here this is going to be the tentacles, and here you can see there is a single opening. There is only one opening. There is a one opening for the entry of food down direction. Food will be metabolized here. It will be digested, and undigested food will move out. So there is a single opening. From this opening food can enter inside, and from the same opening waste can move outside. Can you see the direction of the arrow? It is in opposite direction. When food need to be enter, the direction will be inside. When food need to be after digestion need to be waste need to be removed, it is outside. This is called as an incomplete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system has a one opening that act as a mouth as well as anus. Yes, sir. It acts as a mouth as well as anus. Mouth because it acts as the entry of the food. Anus because it acts as an exit for the waste. Wow, I understood. What about you? Now, when I'm talking about the complete digestive system, there will be two opening. How many opening? There will be two opening. There will be one opening which is the anterior opening called mouth, and the second opening called as the anus. Obviously, food will be entering through the mouth, will be digested along the way, and undigested food will be removed out through the anus. The waste product will be removed out through the anus. Are you getting this? Are you getting this diagram? Are you getting? Yes, sir. So there will be two opening, mouth and anus. Mouth is for the entry of the food and anus is for the exit of the waste. It's so simple. Yes, sir. It's so simple. Yes, sir. Done. So let's talk about the next organ system called as the circulatory system. When I'm talking about the circulatory system, circulation or circulatory system, it involves the blood, it involves the heart, it involves the artery, vein, capillaries. Now you can see there may be open circulatory system or there may be closed circulatory system. As the name suggests, open, the blood will be pumped out by the heart. This is the heart. This chamber is called as a heart, and the heart is going to pump the blood, and this blood will be released directly on the body cell. Means body cell are going to be get bathed by the body cells or body tissue, get bathed by the fluid which is released by the heart. Are you getting? So open circulatory system is that system where blood pump out of the heart, cells and tissue are directly bathed into it. They will directly take a bath from the blood, or we call it as a hemolymph. Yes, sir. So can you see this cavity? This cavity, can you see the green color cell? Green color cell is going to be placed in a cavity. The cavity is called as a sinuses, or we call it as a lacunae. We either call it as a sinuses or we all call it as a lacunae. Its meaning is a open space. Done. What do you mean by closed circulatory system? Here the blood will be always enclosed within the blood vessel or heart. Here heart will pump the blood. This is nothing but the artery. This is nothing but the artery. This is nothing but the capillary. This is nothing but the vein. So blood actually never allowed to pass out of the blood vessels. Either it will be present in artery, capillary, vein or heart. Blood is circulated through a series of vessels of varying diameter, that is A for artery, C for capillaries and V for vein. Blood are not allowed to pass out of the blood vessels, and that's why blood is always closed within the blood vessel, and that's why the name given closed circulatory system. Yes, sir? Yes, sir? Closed circulatory system, that's why name is given. So obviously here the pressure will be more, because here the blood pressure will be here more. Here the blood pressure will be low, but here the blood pressure is going to be always high. The reason is very simple, because this is a closed circulatory system and this is an open circulatory system. Done? Very nice. I hope this slide is also clear. Let's move on to next property, and the next property is called symmetry. Types of symmetry. Symmetry means what? Symmetry means body can be divided into two or more equal part. Body can be divided into two or more equal part, or body cannot be divided into two or more equal part. Yes, sir. Everybody of you have to open the NCERT and then learn this particular chapter. Keep your NCERT open, read one slide. Suppose this slide is taught by me. Now you can read from the, you pause the video, now read NCERT, then go to next slide, listen the lecture of the next slide as well. Now you can see the Ncert. Is that clear? Do simultaneous reading. So here symmetry means body can be divided into two or more equal parts. If body is not divided into any equal part, it is called asymmetry. If body is divided into equal part, then it is called symmetry. Asymmetry, absent of symmetry. Body not divided into, body cannot be divided into equal parts. Wow, body cannot be divided into equal parts. Body cannot be divided into equal parts. That is called asymmetry. But here in this case, symmetry, body can be divided into two or more equal parts, either two or it will be more than two equal parts. If body is divided into two equal parts, that is left side and right side, yes sir, left side and right side, then it is called bilateral symmetry. Bi is a two, lateral is a side, having two sides, right side and left side. That's why bilateral symmetry. Yes sir, our body is also bilateral symmetry. Annelida, arthropoda, they are also bilateral symmetry. Yes sir. So body divided into left and right equal parts. Example from Platyhelminthes onward. Platyhelminthes onward means you can proceed further. Yes sir. Radial symmetry means what? The plane passing through central axis. Can you see this line? Can you see this line? This is called as a central axis. This line, middle line is called central axis. So you can divide into this plane. Now this side and left side will be uh, either side of this line will be equal. I can divide in this plane also, either side of this line will be equal. So plane passing through central axis of body and divided into equal part. So is there only one plane? No, there is a plane number 1. There is a plane number 2. There may be more than one plane which divide the body into two equal parts. Divide the body into two equal parts. So the example is called as a this kind of symmetry is called as a radial symmetry. Example is going to be Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Echinodermata. All these are the examples of this part, and it should be very clear to you. Is that clear? So if body is divided into two equal parts, right and left, it is bilateral. Body is divided into two equal parts passing through the central axis, but more equal part. Two or more equal part passing through the central axis. If the central axis is going to be involved and more than one plane is involved, here only one plane is involved. That's why it is bilateral. But here plane number 1 is involved, plane number 2 is involved, and both the planes are passing through the central axis. Then it is called radial symmetry. I hope this concept is clear. Example, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Echinodermata. Here example, Platyhelminthes. Here example, most of the sponges are going to show the asymmetry. No equal parts are formed. Concept clear? Very nice. Let's go further. Let's talk about now next property called as a embryonic layer, that is germ layer, germinating layers. Embryonic layer, embryonically, organism might have a 2 layer or might have a 3 germ layers. Yes sir. So you can see there is a, you can focus on this particular diagram. There is a blue color cells are there, which is called as a ectoderm. There may be endoderm, which is a black color cells. These cells, they are called as a endoderm. There might be red color cells are present. This is not cells. Okay. So organism, depending upon the number of germ layer, organism may be divided into diploblastic or triploblastic. Diploblastic means having 2 germinal layer and triploblastic means having 3 germinal layer. Diploblastic example is going to be Coelenterate. Hydra become the famous examples. Coelentron, yes sir. And the examples of triploblastic is going to be Platyhelminthes to Chordata. Is that clear? So there will be outer ectoderm, inner endoderm. What I said? Outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and in between them there is an undifferentiated tissue. There is an undifferentiated layer, and we call this undifferentiated layer as mesoglium. Very, very important for the Neet. The third layer present in between the ectoderm and endoderm in diploblastic is called what? So you have to name, you have to remember, mesoglia is the correct answer. Thank you so much for that. Is that clear? Triploblastic means they will have three germ layers: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, inner endoderm. Outer ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. These three germ layer has to be clear. Let's talk about the next point called coelom. What do you mean by coelom? Coelom is nothing but the body cavity. What is coelom? Body cavity. It is the cavity which is formed between gut wall and the body wall. Gut wall means alimentary canal. Body wall means this outer body layer. Our outer body layer is the body wall. This is a body wall. This whole is a body wall, right? So it is body wall or it's a gut wall in between them. So basically, coelom is lined by, let us try to understand with the help of this particular diagram. Okay, let's talk about the first type of coelom is called as a acoelom, where the coelom is actually not there. It is absolutely absent. Absolutely absent. So your acoelom means platyhelminthes. There will be outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, inner endoderm, but there will not be. There is a blue color, purple color ectoderm. There is a red color mesoderm, and there is a black color endoderm, but there will not be any cavity. Yes, sir. There will not be any cavity. This is called acoelomate. Acoelomate is a star property of platyhelminthes. Yes, sir. So you should know the PA rule. You should know the PA rule. What is PA rule? The meaning of PA is a the meaning of A is a acoelomate. Acoelomate, and acoelomate is going to be seen in case of platy. So platyhelminthes will show acoelomate, and the A is meaning is a Aschelminthes, and Aschelminthes, the P is a pseudocoelom. Is that clear? So you can see PA rule means P means pseudocoelom, and it is seen in case of Aschelminthes. So these two are connected. And P means platyhelminthes and the A means acoelomate. So acoelomate is connected with the platyhelminthes. So I think this concept is also very clear. So acoelomate, no coelom, no cavity present. Coelom means coelom body cavity is present. So can you see this cavity? This cavity is called as a coelom. And how this coelom is formed? This coelom is formed by the splitting of mesoderm. Consider this my hand, complete hand as a mesoderm. So in the first diagram where the coelom is written, this mesoderm is going to get split. See, it is going to get split. As the mesoderm is going to split, as the mesoderm is going to be split, it is going to form, as the mesoderm will split, it will form the cavity. Can you see this cavity? Can you see my eye? My eye is in the cavity. So this is called as a, this cavity is called as a coelomate, and the organism who are going to have the coelom is called as a coelomate, and it is going to be seen Annelida onward. So there will be mesoderm to mesoderm. There will be part of mesoderm attached to the ectoderm, which is nothing but the body wall, and the part of mesoderm which is attached to the black layer, which is nothing but the gut wall. So ecto is a body wall, ectoderm outside is body and body wall. Endo is inside is a gut, so inside is a gut wall. So there is a part of mesoderm that attached to the gut, and there is a part of mesoderm attached to the body wall, and in between the gut wall and body wall there is a cavity, and that cavity is always called as a coelom. and so we always say coelom is always going to be lined by mesoderm. There is a third variety which is called pseudocoelom, where there is an outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, but in between the ectoderm and endoderm there is a pouch, scattered pouches of mesoderm is present, and we call them as a pseudocoelom. The scattered pouch is formed in a cavity. That cavity is called pseudocoelom. Can you see this cavity? Is this cavity is lined by mesoderm? So it is not lined by mesoderm. Can you see this pouch of scattered pouch of mesoderm? Yes, you can see this scattered pouch of mesoderm. Yes, sir. So I think this particular part is very clear to you. Done. This is very important for your need, ma'am. Done. Let's go next. This is the explanation of the coelom. You can read it if you want to. Let's talk about the metabolic segmentation. What do you mean by segmentation? Segmentation means body is going to be divided. Body is going to be divided. So metabolic segmentation means body is divided into segments, or we call this segment as a metameres, externally as well as internally. So this is the earthworm, which is a famous example of metabolic segmentation, is nothing but the earthworm. Earthworm is the example of metabolic segmentation. Can you see the body is divided into number of segments? Segments are there, and these segments are not only present outside, they are present inside also. So body is divided into segments externally as well as internally. Is that clear? So external division is also there and internal division is also there. That is most very important point that you need to understand. Yes, sir. So after metabolic segmentation, we move on to this flow chart, which is again mentioned in the NCERT. This is a level of organization: tissue, organ system. This is cellular. Symmetry may be radial, bilateral, or there is no symmetry, might be called asymmetry in case of Porifera, that you know. Radial symmetry, if you have, then it is Ctenophora and Coelenterata. And bilateral, you have then Platyhelminthes onward. Everything is going to be by lateral symmetry, that I have already explained. Bilateral might have no coelom, acoelomate, pseudocoelom, Aschelminthes, and with true coelom, it is called Annelida onward. So this is how the evolution takes place in case of coelom, evolution in case of symmetry, evolution in case of level of organization, and this is the evolution in case of a phylum. The most advanced phylum is going to be always a chordate, and the most primitive phylum is always going to be the phylum Porifera. Yes, sir. So that point has to be very clear to you. In the new textbook of NCERT, if you have a new textbook of NCERT, new textbook, updated textbook, then Echinodermata exhibit radial as well as bilateral symmetry depending upon the stage. If the stage is larva, they will show bilateral symmetry. If the stage is going to be adult, they will show radial symmetry. I hope this particular point is taken and it is well understood by you. Yes, sir? Nice. Let's talk about the so I have started from Porifera till Hemichordata, or you can say Chordata also. And the basic property which we have discussed just now, level of organization, symmetry, germ layers, coelom, and segmentation, all these property are placed in the form of a learning chart. This is called as a learning chart. Yes, sir, this is called as a learning chart. So so we will not discuss this basic property again and again in each phylum, and that's why we are discussing it right now, so that you can be familiar with the basic characters of classification of animal. Level of organization: Porifera show cellular level, then Coelenterata will show tissue level, then Platyhelminthes is first. So how the question will be asked: who is first time showing the tissue level of organization? Yes, sir. Here I have put extra star mark because in some reference it is written it is diploblastic, but in our NCERT Porifera is diploblastic or monoblastic, it is not mentioned. But when it comes to germ layer, they have given example of diploblastic as a Coelenterata, not Porifera. So some of the references are saying it is a monoblastic. All the cells are derived from the embryo. Some reference, all the cells are derived from the embryo. That's why it is double stars are there. So there will be diploblastic, who is the first triploblastic and showing the bilateral symmetry. So Platyhelminthes is the phylum which is showing first time bilateral symmetry as well as first time triploblastic, and that's why it becomes the very important question. Aschelminthes will show first time triploblastic and first time pseudocoelomate. Yes, sir. So triploblastic is first time present in Platyhelminthes, but we are giving two characters. Give me the list of organism. Give me the list of organism who is triploblastic along with the pseudocoelomate. So you have to go for the examples of Aschelminthes. If they ask you question, give me the example where the organism is first time bilateral and first time triploblastic. Triploblastic along with bilateral. So you have to go for the example of the Platyhelminthes. Are you getting me? Yes, sir. Okay. Mollusca is going to be coelomate, but segmentation is going to be Annelida and Arthropoda. Obviously, it will be seen here. And Echinodermata will not show the segmented body, and Hemichordata will show, and Chordata will also show the segmentation. But in case of coelomate and only Neoplena is the example which only example of mollusca which show segmented body, others will not show. I think this point is taken. Give me the name of a phylum where there will be two kind of symmetry, radial symmetry along with the bilateral. So you have to say radial symmetry seen in case of adult and bilateral is seen in case of larvae, not in the same organism. Same coelom modify into enterocoelom. So Neet will again ask question, first enterocoelom, who is going to show the first enterocoelom? The answer will be Echinodermata. You have to learn that E for Echinodermata and E for Echinodermata and E for enterocoelom. Are you getting? This is the trick that will help you. E for E, this E for Echinodermata and E for enterocoelom. Later on, enterocoelom is going to be present in case of Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata as well. So it is the very important changes. What is enterocoelom? That we will discuss when we will learn the Echinodermata first time. Yes, sir. But this is the overall view of the all the 5 basic characters that we have studied just now. I hope you got it how the question would be asked, and I hope you would be able to answer it. Let's go further. Let's talk about now phylum wise. That is the first phylum. The first phylum is called as a phylum Porifera. So we are going to discuss on a single image Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, and we have made this beautiful table. It is a comparative table which compare the characters of Porifera, Coelenterata and Ctenophora, and that will be, you will be very excited to learn them. It will be very exciting to learn this particular table. Yes, sir. So here we go. Let's talk about the Porifera. What are the key highlight of the Porifera? First, try to understand this. When we talk about the Porifera, it is commonly called as a pole-bearing animal. How many poles are there? There will be two types of pole. One is called ostia and the second pole is called as a osculum. So can you see this dot-like structure? Can you see this dot-like structure? They are called ostia. And ostia through which the water will enter inside. Then water enter into the spongiocele. From ostia it will enter in the spongiocele. Spongiocele is the cavity. Seal. Whenever the word seal comes in biology, the meaning of seal is the cavity. You just now studied coelom. So it's the same meaning. That is, seal means cavity, seal means open space. So ostia open into spongiocele and spongiocele open into osculum. Ostia open into spongiocele, spongiocele open into osculum. So I think this particular part is very much clear to you. Is that clear? Yes, sir. So now there is a pole is over. Water canal system is the star. Water transport system and water canal system is going to be the star property, is a unique feature, is a key feature seen in case of Porifera. And in case of Porifera, there is a water canal system is going to be present, and the function of this water canal system is to bring water from ostia and remove the unwanted waste from the osculum. Yes, sir. So water canal system help in help in entry of the food, it help in entry of the it help in entry of the food, it help in entry of the oxygen, it help in exit of the waste. So entry will always occur through the ostia and exit will always occur from the osculum. Yes, sir. Entry will always occur through the ostia and exit will always take place through the osculum. Other than this, there is a very special cells is present, which is called choanocyte. It is also called as a collar cell. Yes, sir. So this is that cell is called collar cell, and this cell is associated with the amoebocyte that help in digestion of the food. So choanocyte or collar cell is the star property of Porifera. Water vascular system is the star property, and presence of a pole like ostia and osculum. They are commonly called as a pole-bearing animal. Porifera. Pori is a pole, fera is a bearing. Pole-bearing animal is called Porifera. So are you getting? I hope are you getting superbly? These are the key features that I have discussed just now. Yes, sir. Is that clear? So if you focus here, there is a trick for the example. That trick is called "Psycho sky se gila hua, you should bath." Yes, sir. So how the trick is made, that I will help you later. The what is the meaning of trick and application of the trick will explain you. Go Papa Madras. Go Papa Madras is a trick for the Cylintrita, and Priyanka Chopra PC is nothing but the trick for the Tinophora. Yes, sir. Let's talk about the common name of the Porifera. The common name Porifera is sponges, and it is going to be seen mostly in the marine. But spongilla is a freshwater sponges that everybody must know for the Neet exam. They have a star property of water canal system. Ostia open into spongiocele and a spongiocele open into osculum. It help in food gathering, respiration and exchange and removal of waste. Who? Ostia will help in water canal system, help in food gathering, means collecting the food, respiratory exchange, that is oxygen and CO2 exchange, and removal of waste. Obviously, the waste need to be removed out of the body. Yes, sir. So this point has to be very clear. Choanocyte and collar cell line the spongiocele and canal. This point also has to be very much clear to you. Yes, sir. Okay. Digestion. So here we made the table. The characters is already made. Digestion is going to be intracellular. Skeleton is again the star performer, and it talks about it is made up of spicules and spicules. Skeleton is made up of spicules, S for skeleton and S for spicules, and it is made up of spongin fiber. So S for skeleton, S for spicules, and S for spongin fiber. Spongin fiber is going to be made up of protein, but spicules are made up of calcium carbonate and the silica, that you must know. Respiration will be directly through the body surface, so there is no specific organs are present, because obviously it's a cellular level of organization, so no need of organ here, no scope for organ here. Locomotion is sedentary, attached to substratum. They have an inactive lifestyle. They do no need to move much, and that's why sedentary, that is an inactive lifestyle, is called sedentary, attached to the substratum. Reproduction is Asexual occurs by fragmentation and sexual occurs by gamete formation. Fertilization is internal and the development is going to be indirect. Internal means the male gamete and the female egg, they will be meeting inside the body. Yes, sir. Internal means inside body. External means they are going to be meet in the surrounding environmental condition. Development is going to be indirect. Indirect development will always involve the larva, and the name of larva is called amphiblastula. Amphiblastula. Done. Example is Sycon spongilla, freshwater sponge, Euspongia, bath sponge. That example is there. I have made the trick for the example. I will explain you in the next slide the meaning of the tricks. Yes, sir. So these are the flow chart that you must know, every student must know for your NEET exam. Let's now talk about the Cellular theta. When we talk about the Cellular theta is much more advanced. Here, focus. Cellular theta is called celentron. So there is a there is a celentron. This cavity which is present, it is called Coelentron. It is called celentron, or it is also called gastrovascular cavity. Gastro will deal with the stomach. Vascular will deal will deal with the circulation. So this gastrovascular cavity is always help in digestion, and it always help in circulation of the food and the oxygen. Yes, sir. That's why it is called gastrovascular celentron, is a gastrovascular cavity. Another key property is the presence of tentacles, and these tentacles are provided with the special cells we call nidoblast cells. We call these cells as a nidoblast cell. We also call it as a nidocyte cell, and it has a stinging capsule. Capsule is nothing but this bag. Can you see this? And this red color structure, what you can see is nothing but the toxin, and they are neurotoxic. They are neurotoxins. They are neurotoxin, that you must know this point. Yes, sir. So there will be thread also. So what else property about Cellular theta? Cellular theta will show the nerve net. There is a first time nervous system is going to be developed in Cellular theta, and that is also in the form of a nerve net. So can you see these fibers? Can you see these fibers? These fibers are nothing but the nerve net that you must know. This is called as a nerve net. Okay. Then there is a two part. This organism Cellular theta, they are called polymorphic. We call them polymorphic. They are found in the two form. That is, whatever I am explaining, that is already being written, that I will repeat again, don't worry. Aurelia, they have a two form. One is called polyform, and the second form is called medusa form. So there is a polyform and then there is a medusa form. Polyp is always going to be cylindrical body. It is going to be sessile. It is directly attached to the substratum. Sessile means any stalk is going to be absent, directly attached to the substratum. Hydra and Adamsia is the example of this. Hydra and Adamsia is the example. Adamsia is nothing but the sea animal. This is nothing but the sea animal. Aurelia jellyfish are the example. It is umbrella shape, it is free swimming, and it is sessile. So what is the difference? It is like an umbrella shape. You can see it is like an umbrella shape, and it is like a cylindrical shape, and it is going to be sessile, it is going to be umbrella, and it is going to be free swimming. So I think this particular point is taken, and we move on to now next point of the topic, the same topic, that is called metagenesis. Yes, sir. So it is written here already, metagenesis. Yes, sir. It's called metagenesis. What is metagenesis? It is said that this is the polyform, cylindrical and sessile, and it is attached directly to the substratum without any stalk. it will undergo asexual reproduction and it will give you the medusae form. So polyp will give the medusae form, and medusae by sexual reproduction it will give you the polyp form. Done? What I said? This is the polyp form. They will undergo asexual reproduction and they will give you the medusa. This is medusa. Medusa will undergo sexual reproduction, and after sexual reproduction they will give you back the polyp form. So there is an alternation of generation from medusae to polyp. Polyp will give rise to medusa and medusa will give rise to polyp. This alternation of generation is called metagenesis. Here the ploidy of medusae is also 2n, and polyp is also ploidy number of polyp is 2n and medusae is also 2n. There is no change in the ploidy number of an organism. This point need to be absolutely understood by you. Yes, sir, because they will complicate you. They might complicate this particular question from the alternation of generation, that is sporophyte and gametophyte, where sporophyte is diploid but the gametophyte is haploid. But here both are haploid, sorry, both are diploid, and there is no change in ploidy number in this alternation of generation. In this alternation of generation, there is going to be medusa present and there will be polyp present. Polyp will give rise to medusa and medusa will give rise to polyp. They will give rise by sexual reproduction. So they will give rise by asexual reproduction. So there is no question of anything like haploid and diploid. This is also diploid and this is also diploid. I think this concept is clear. So how many property we have understood? We have understood cylindron, nerve net, budding, polyp and medusiform, stinging nidoblast cell. Here there was a collar cell, choanocyte. Here there is a nidoblast or nidocyte cell. And metagenesis is again the star property that we have understood, that we must know. Yes, sir. Let's discuss the diagram of ctenophora as well. Ctenophora is going to, example is a pleurobrachia. They have a bioluminescence property. They are going to be exclusively marine only. Means they are going to be seen in marine water only. No freshwater species. There will be no asexual reproduction in this organism. No asexual reproduction, they will be absolutely compulsory without any exception. They are going to be marine in their habitat. This point need to be taken by you. Correct? Then what are the other property that you must know is the ciliated. Can you see this green color ciliated comb plate? How many numbers are there? Obviously, they are going to be 8 number. Obviously, there are going to be 8 numbers, 0, 8 in numbers, that you must know. And there is a tentacles is going to be present, and they have a special cell called coloblast cell. Which cell they have? Coloblast. Colo Coloblast cell is going to be there, that you must know, and it help in attaching. It is not poisonous. Yes, sir. It attach to the any kind of organism and make them immobile. Once they become immobile, they die after some time, then they will try to feed them. Yes, sir. So this point is should be very, very clear. Now let us revise them with the help of this chart. Yes, sir. As I already explained, habitat is going to be aquatic, but this is going to be exclusively marine. They are commonly called as a sea walnut or comb jellies. They have a gastrovascular cavity or nidoblast, and they have a nidoblast and nidocyte cells, and they are always going to be neurotoxic. You can see 1 star. 1 star means it is an extra point not mentioned in NCERT, but it might come in NCERT. That's why it is very close, and that's why I'm giving it. So it is a neurotoxic. It will affect the brain, the nervous system. That's why. That will help in encourage defense and the capture of the prey. Encourage defense and capture of the prey, ADC. They have a central gastrovastular cavity with a single opening called hypostome. They exhibit two basic forms, polyform, medusiform. Polyp is sessile, cylindrical, and hydra and Adamsia is the example. Medusa is going to be always umbrella shape. Fish swimming, Aurelia, and jellyfish are the example. Both form exhibit alternation of generation, that is metagenesis. Polyp produces medusa asexually, medusa produces polyp sexually. Obelia, how you can forget this example? That's a very, very important example. Yes, very, very important example of this. Ploidy number is 2n, that is remains same. Now net acting as a primitive nervous system. This is again the extra point, but extra point for this particular chapter, but it is mentioned in other chapters of biology. Digestion here it was only within the cell, but here it is outside the cell also and within the cell as well. So it is and is given. So it is extracellular as well as intracellular. That point has to be done. Yes, sir. So this is not intercellular. This has to be written as a intracellular. Intracellular, and this point is also not inter. It is intracellular. It's a typing error that my staff will make sure that will not do it next time. Yes, sir. Do they have skeleton? Skeleton is a hard part of the body. That skeleton means hard part of the body, and they have spicules. As for skeleton, as for spicules, as for spongin fiber, they have a corals. Cnidarian-like corals have a skeleton in the form of calcium carbonate. Yes, sir. They have a skeleton in the form of calcium carbonate. That you must know this. Correct. Let's discuss further. Reproduction is asexual by fragmentation, sexual by gamete formation, asexual by lateral budding. Also, regeneration is star property. Sexual reproduction will always be by gamete formation everywhere. Here, only sexual reproduction, asexual reproductions are absent. Sexes are not separate. That you must know. Sexes are not separate means they are in the same body. Both male and female are going to be present. Yes, sir. Not separate. Like we are separate. I am male and females are females. Yes, sir. Okay. So fertilization always internal. It may be external. It may be internal. It may be here external. Development involve the indirect called amphiblastula, planula larva in Obelia, and sidipede larva in case of Ctenophora. You can see there is a star mark is mentioned everywhere. Can you see this star mark? Why this star mark? Because this the extra point, and you give importance to it because it is an extra point not mentioned in NCERT, and your teacher feel that it might be present in the Neet exam. That's why you need to learn them very nicely. Yes, sir. So these are the larvae that I have mentioned. Now let's talk about the trick. Yes, sir. How to know and how to remember the names of these organisms. Is that clear? So here we go. Psycho sky se gila hua, you should bath. It is a trick. Psycho is a name of a person. This person is going down for the office, but suddenly from the sky, the psycho is moving, and from the sky water came. From the sky water came. Yes, sir. And he became gila. Gila means he became wet. Wet हो गया, गीला हो गया, and अब उसको फिर से नहाना होगा. But sky से पानी sky से पानी कैसे आया? Because somebody was giving water to the sun. We give always sun. We always pray to sun, and we give water to sun. That water fall down from the terrace into the ground, and that water falls on the psycho. Psycho sky se gila hua means psycho became wet, getting water from the sky, and now psycho, you should bath. Now psycho, you should bath. Psycho means psychon directly. It is psycho directly taken from psychon. Sky is a skyfa. Wow. Se gila, se na spongilla. Se gila, se na spongilla. And it is a fresh water sponge. Se gila, spongilla is called as a fresh water because it's a fresh water. U is a euspongia. U word is there here. Euspongia. Bath is a. It is also called as a bath sponge. I think this part is clear. Then we move on to Go Papa Madras. Go Papa Madras is a trick. G for Gorgonia. G stand for gas, and gas will given by the fan. So Gorgonia is a sea fan. O for Obelia. Obelia is not an example. It is an example mentioned in metastasis. It is not mentioned at the end in the list of example. P for Physalia. Physalia is also called Portuguese man in war. A for Adamsia. Adamsia is also called animal. So it is called, basically we call it as a P square and A square. And we have not P square or A square, just P stand for Physalia, and same P stand for Portuguese man of war. Portuguese is a Portugali people. They were using Physalia. Why? Because Physalia has a neurotoxin. Just now mentioned, na, they have a neuroblast cell, and they are going to produce toxin. Na? So they used to throw the Physalia on the enemy soldiers of enemy soldier. Yes, sir. So M for Menandria, which is a brain coral, and A for Adamsia. Adamsia is a sea animal. Yes, sir. So I think this part is clear. Yes, sir. We have one more P, which is called as a Penatula, which we call it as a sea pen. Yes, sir. We call it as a sea pen. So we just rub this. Okay, not rubbing. Actually, I'm very smart. So here we go. This P stand for Penatula. This P stand for Penatula. Penatula. Penatula is also called sea pen. See, it is pen, and here also pen. Penatula is called sea pen. Yes, sir. I'll show you the image. Just wait. Can you see? It is like a sea pen. This can be used for writing something. Pen. Menandria is looking like a brain coral. This is called corals, which is made up of calcium carbonate skeleton. Sea animal is nothing but the uh, Adamsia. Adamsia is also called sea animal. Then we have Aurelia, which is nothing but the jellyfish. Sea fan, Gorgonia, it is nothing but the sea fan, and this is called no net in case of Hydra. This is very, very clear. Yes, sir. Now let's talk about the trick of Tinophora. P stand for Priyanka Chopra and C stand for Chopra. P for Pleurobrachia, it is C gooseberry, and C stand for Tinoplana. So there is a Tinoplana. Phylum name is Tinophora. Example of Tinophora is Tinoplana. Wow. Wow, India. Wow. Yes, sir. So I think this part has to be very, very clear to you. I hope it is clear to you. Yes, sir. Okay. So this part is done. And these are the examples: Psychon, Euspongia, NCRT image that you must know. And time to talk about now next the phylum, which is called Platyhelminthes. PDF file of what I'm teaching is going to be available to you in the description. So from the description you can download this PDF and you can study. But I would always suggest you can download the PDF, but you can write everything. That will create a stronger impact on you, right? So let's now talk about the platyhelminthes. When I'm talking about the platyhelminthes, and we have a next phylum called Aschelminthes. Yes, sir. So platy means flat, helminthes means worm. So they are nothing but the flat worm. The first very important property of platyhelminthes is the presence of dorso-ventrally flat body. Yes, sir. First point. Platyhelminthes means dorso-ventrally flat body. P for platyhelminthes and P for parasite. Yes, sir. So they are mostly endoparasite to human or other animal. Human or other animal. Point to be taken, right? Okay. So if they have to live their life as a parasite, they should have an adaptation that will supporting the parasitic lifestyle, and that's why they have a hook. So if I expand this head of the tapeworm, you can see, can you see there is a hook? These black color structures are called as a hook. These black color structures are called as a hook is going to be present. Can you see these structures? They are nothing but the suckers. Hook and sucker is the key property of tapeworm, and it is going to be seen in case of these organisms. That is a phylum Platyhelminthes. This is a liver fluke. Here also you can see ventral suckers, oral suckers. Suckers are going to be there. Hooks and suckers are going to be present here. That will help them to support their parasitic lifestyle. Yes, sir. Parasitic lifestyle. They have a ovary also, and they have a testes also. It means sexes are not separate. Sexes are not separate, and they will always go for self-fertilization. In case of planaria, which is the third example, first example is tapeworm. This is the tapeworm, is not written here. This is a tapeworm. Tapeworm. Tapeworm is also called Taenia solium. We call it as a Taenia. This is the second example called liver fluke, and this is the third example called planaria. Planaria is going to be having P for platyhelminthes. So I should write P for platyhelminthes and P for parasite, already explained. Yes, sir. P for platyhelminthes and P for what? P for planaria. P for platyhelminthes and P for what? P for now is called as a protonephridia. Protonephridia. Nephridia word deal with the kidney, it deal with the excretion, it deal with the osmoregulation. Yes, sir. So planaria is going to have a protonephridia, or they will have flame cells, and we also call it as a solenocyte. You need to remember all the three because question can be asked from anywhere. Yes, sir. So they have what? They have flame cells, because the shape of this particular cells is looking like some burning flame, and that's why it is given the name flame cells. Protonephridia, flame cells, solenocytes, they all help in excretion. They are nothing but the another name of each other. Flame cells, दूसरा नाम protonephridia, तीसरा नाम solenocytes. They divide by transfer binary fission, planaria. They have a power of regeneration. Fantastic. They have a power of regeneration. Great power of regeneration. If you cut them into 3 pieces, then they can develop from each pieces into a new individual. That is called regeneration property. And can you see this ladder-like or step-like structure? This is called ladder-like nerve system. So in the Hydra, nervous system was present in the form of nerve net. From nerve net, we are now moving on to ladder-like nerve cord. That is the new modification that occurs here, that also you should know. Okay, so these are the key property that we have discussed in the diagram. The details of the same thing we will discuss in this particular chart. Yes, sir. So commonly called as what? Commonly called as the trick is Tittu physics mein fail hai. Tittu means tapeworm. Tapeworm is also called Taenia, that you know already. Physics means planaria. Fail means टिट्टू physics में fail हो गया. So fasciola, which is nothing but the liver fluke. Yes, sir. It is called flatworms, dorsoventrally flat. It is endoparasitic. Let's talk about the Aschelminthes as well. Aschelminthes means there is going to be Aschelminthes means there would be round worm. Nematohelminthes means there is a thread worm. So we commonly call them either round worm or we call it as a thread worm. Sexual dimorphism is the style property which is very first time. So you should know that what are the things which is special here. The special thing is pseudocoelom, which is special here. They are triploblastic, but they are going to be pseudocoelom. Is that clear? Which is very, very special point. And sexual dimorphism is going to be seen here, which is again the peculiar property, unique property. Sexual dimorphism means male and female look different. Male is going to be shorter, female is going to be much longer. Female posterior end is going to be curved like this. You can see, can you see the end is curved like this? And can you see the penile setae? Penile setae is a copulatory organ. It helps in copulation. So it is a copulatory. It is a copulatory organ. It helps in transfer of a male gamete into the female body. Yes, sir. Is that clear? So sexual dimorphism: male is shorter, female is longer. Mouth is present, anus is present. It means digestive system is always going to be complete. Pseudocoelom is again the star property that I have discussed, and I hope these points are to be very, very clear to you. Is that clear? So pseudocoelom is mentioned here, mouth is mentioned here, and anus is also mentioned. Let us discuss the table first. Common name flatworm, common name roundworm. Why? Because in the cross section they look circular. They are also called threadworm because they are thread-like. Mostly endoparasite. They may be free living. Some of them may be free living. Aquatic, terrestrial, parasitic, but they are parasitic to plant also. Yes, sir. So you can see again there is a star mark here, and melangyne incognitia, incognititia. So melangyne incognitia, that you will study this in unit number 9. So it is the Aschelminthes that infect the plant. So it is a plant. So it is a star mark. It means it is not mentioned in this NCERT, but it is mentioned in the unit number 9, not in this chapter, but unit number 9, biotechnology unit. It is mentioned there. Yes, sir. So you have to study this. Very, very important. So they are the parasitic to plant as well as animal, aquatic, terrestrial. Hooks and suckers are present. I have already explained. Ladder-like nervous system is also present or done. Self-fertilization in some flatworm, example tapeworm, self-fertilization is there because testes and ovaries are present in the same body. Pseudocoelom digestive system is complete with the well-developed muscular pharynx. So this point has to be highlighted. Muscular pharynx is going to be present here in their digestive system. So this point need to be very, very clear to you. Now, digestion is going to be absent here because they are parasitic, no? So they will directly absorb the nutrient through their body surface. No need to have digestive system, right? Complete digestive system is present with the muscular pharynx. Yes, sir. Muscular pharynx are there. Some of them are free living, so obviously they will have the body. They will have the digestive system. Respiration through the body surface will occur. Flame cells, protonephridia, solenocytes. Here, H-shaped rennet cells are present. So again, this is important. H-shaped rennet cells or giant cell is present, which help in excretion or removal of nitrogenous waste. Skeleton obviously absent or hydroskeleton is present, but it is not mentioned in NCERT, so we are not discussing. Locomotion is also not given in the NCERT. The sexes are going to be not separate. They are going to be hermaphrodite. Very, very important word. Hermaphrodite means Both the sex organ, that is male and female, that is testes and ovaries, are going to be present in a single body. Yes, sir. Planaria have a high power of regeneration. If you cut the planaria into 3 pieces, each pieces can be developed into a new planaria. So this property is called high power of regeneration. Transverse bind diffusion is possible. Again, it is an extra point, but you should know this. Ascaris is going to be, or Aschelminthes is going to be dioecious. It is unisexual. Female is longer than the male. Sexual dimorphism, that we have already discussed. Fertilization here is going to be internal. Cross fertilization is possible. Here fertilization is going to be always within the body, that is internal. Internal means within the body. Fertilization will be within the body. External means fertilization will be outside the body in the environment. Yes, sir. Okay. Development will be indirect. Indirect means larva involved, and direct means young ones involved. What I said? Zygote give rise to larva, so indirect. Zygote give rise to directly young one. We are young ones. We give young ones. That's why our development is always going to be direct. Okay. So, but some of them may be indirect also. The larva name is rhabditiform larva here, which is going to be present in case of Ascaris. It is present in Ascaris, that you must know, rhabditiform. It is an extra point because that's why it is a star is mentioned. You can see the star is mentioned here. Star means it's an extra point. In the larva, in case of tapeworm, is an oncosphere, hexacanth, and cysticerus. Again, it is an extra point. If you want to study it, just write in your NCERT. Continuously revising it from the NCERT, so you will be able to express in the Neet exam. Yes, sir. Okay. So example is Taenia, Planaria, Fasciola, and example have been already described in the trick, and this is again the example already described in the trick. A wall faltu hai. This okay. Let us discuss both the examples. Trick. T2 physics में fail है. T2 for tapeworm, Taenia. P means planaria. Fail means fasciola. Fasciola is also called liver fluke. Yes, sir. अब वॉर फालतू है. यूक्रेन और रशिया में वार चल रहा है ना. So war is not good. Faltu means it is not good for anybody. It is not good for anybody. So A means Ascaris. W means Wuchilidia. Wuchilidia is also called filarial worm. I just increase the focus here. A means Ascaris. W means Wuchilidia. A means Encyclostoma. And R means roundworm. Roundworm given the second name of Ascaris. So you can see the bracket here. It is the second name. Second name I have always underlined it. Okay. So it should be very, very clear to you, everybody. Second name is underlined and it is in the bracket as well. Faltu means filarial worm. Hai means hookworm. And A means Encyclostoma. So there are only 3 examples actually. But 6 name you have to remember, because each example have given the second name, which is a common name. So I hope this particular part and this particular video is very, very clear to you. I hope you enjoyed the class. And now this is from Vijay Mishra. This is enough. And we'll see you again for the next class. Yes, sir. I hope you like the lecture. Comment whatever is your suggestion, and keep studying it. Write lecture notes, write everything, make this table, read from the NCERT and practice MCQs based upon NCERT. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.